Welcome to my live reaction from Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. That was it. Sorry, you might notice that I'm a bit uh, like that. So I literally only just got back a few minutes ago. I've been running some errands and this, that, and the other. So apologies that the live stream was. Let me just fix this here a little bit. Apologies that the live stream started like a minute late. I do apologise. Um, yeah, so basically, if you've not watched the show before, so I'm going to run through what happened today in the Liverpool Palace Community Shield match. Now, obviously, it's basically a glorified pre-season friendly. I mean, um, it's probably due to my age, but let me just adjust that as well. There we go, properly in frame now. Yeah, it's probably just my age and everything, but like I am not remotely bothered about the Community Shield in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, quite honestly. And a lot of people of my age, because I'm in my mid 40s, it was always just a friendly at the end of the friendly season. And yeah, they were competitive and everything, but like, if you didn't win, you just basically shrugged your shoulders and went, oh well. And like, you've got people now who, and it's probably a generational thing. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe the younger people can explain it to me. But you've got people now who are putting such emphasis on winning it, like it's the that case in point. There was a lad in the Liverpool end after we'd scored, and I'm not taking the mick. I mean, this might be his first ever Liverpool match. He might not be able to go very often, but he was celebrating like we'd just won the Champions League, and I was kind of like, yay, we've scored, great, whatever. I mean, obviously, I did just want us to win. I don't want us to lose a single football match, but my priority today was for the lads to get fit, no injuries, and get prepared for Bournemouth next week. That is the point of pre-season. The Community Shield is not a way into Europe. Like, if it was, then if it had a Champions League place for some inexplicably bizarre reason, and we probably shouldn't give UEFA any further thoughts on that. But if it was, obviously I would take it a lot more seriously. But it's a friendly, and do you know what? Congratulations to Crystal Palace. They deserve to win the match. It is as simple as that, folks. To be honest. Um, Hi Firebet. Hi Cronfree. How you doing? Hi Paula. How you doing? Hope you guys are all okay. But yeah, no, it's one of these. Crystal Palace deserve to win the match. It's as simple as that. Obviously, I'm going to touch on the things that happened before the match a little bit later, but like a lot of Reds, to say that I wasn't pleased with what happened in the minutes silence would be an understatement, but I'll get on to that in a minute. But yeah, basically, as far as I'm concerned, what team do I support? Liverpool, mate. Yeah, we got our butts kicked by Crystal Palace today, basically. So yeah, um, no, it's one of these. Crystal Palace deserve to win. Simple as that. They were better than us from the 35th minute onwards. They used the ball better than we did. They attacked better than we did. They defended better than we did. Don't know about that, mate. Bloody hell. Um, actually, Fire. What's your name? Fire Aced. Oh, no problem, Comfrey. Thanks for tuning in. To be fair, Fire 8, I think you've bought some very, very good players. I think Mbuemo, Cunha, and Sesko will get you. I'd be astonished if they don't get 70 goals, to be quite honest. So I think Man United will finish in the top four. I can't see them winning the league, personally, because I don't think your defence is strong enough. I think your midfield's very good. If you can get Mason Mount fit, Kobe Mainu, Bruno Fernandes, what's the other lad's name? Agate. I think your fullbacks are decent. Your defenders are fine, but I just don't rate your goalkeeper. I think he's one of the worst keepers I've ever. I grew up watching Peter Schmeichel, and he was probably, as much as I hate admitting, he's probably the best goalkeeper that I've ever seen. Him and probably Alisson Becker, but Onana is, as much as I don't like Manchester United is a global institution, and how on earth he was bought to play for Man United Football Club. I genuinely have no idea. I think he's one of the worst keepers I've ever seen. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So, yeah, basically the match itself. So, Liverpool. This is the thing that really annoys me, to be honest. Not annoyed me so much, but with the performance. But Liverpool actually started that match really well. So we went 1-0 up after 3 or 4 minutes with Ekatike. There was a really good assist by Verts, who sort of played um, across the penalty area towards the D, and then Ekatike moved in that of a couple of defenders and basically slotted it into the right hand corner. It was an absolutely fantastic goal, and I was very impressed with that young man today. I think we might have got a really good player. Again, obviously, it's a glorified pre-season friendly, so we'll have to wait and see if you can do the business of the Premier League. But I genuinely thought Ekatike was excellent today. I thought he was very, very good. The first half an hour to maybe 40 minutes, Florian Wirtz was an absolute pleasure to watch. He is clearly one of the best players in the world. So I actually saw him in the Bilbao friendly, which is on my channel as well. So there's like a vlog and shorts. If you want to check it out. It's just under the playlist Geek Boy Does Liverpool. Because all my playlists are Geek Boy Does Wrestling, Geek Boy Does Comic Con, and so on and so forth. But the what Liverpool one is Geek Boy Does Liverpool, and you can see the highlights from Bilbao on my channel. Anyway, um, he was sensational that night, and he was absolutely sensational again for the first 30 to 35 minutes. I thought we played really well. Crystal Palace had a couple of breaks. That's right. Um, Equalised after. Um, Long story short, defending. He doesn't need to be the best defender in the world, but he's made a bit today. Virgil van Dijk, basically, one of the Palace players, is really long with the ball. And Verge basically just takes him out. I mean, he was arguing, protesting, saying, "Oh, it's not a penalty," and blah blah blah, and doing all this. But I'm just sat okay, Verge, that is borderline one of the most obvious penalties I've ever seen, and I've watched football for nearly 40 years. What he was complaining about is beyond me, to be honest. But yeah. So anyway, Mateta comes along, he slots it. It's 1-1. Game goes a bit back and forth. And then all of a sudden, Frimpong gets the ball out on the right-hand side, basically. And he goes to cross it in. And I'm like, what is he doing? That's a terrible cross. But then the ball starts going. I can't do a very good impression, but hi, person, you're all right. But yeah, it just kept going and going into the net. And I'm like, surely that's not gone in. And we didn't actually think in the pub that we were watching it at that the ball had actually gone in, but as it turns out, it actually went in. And I couldn't believe it. I thought it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And Frimpong's reaction, it was giving it the big one, like, yeah, I meant it. It was like, Jeremy, mate, come on, you miskicked your shot. But yeah, the really good thing about that, I don't know if you guys have seen the match, but oh, hang on. You play FIFA? No, mate. I'm not a gamer, unfortunately. I used to be many years ago. I used to play the old school Streets of Rage games, Street Fighter 2, Sonic 2. What the hell else did I used to play? Earthworm Jim, Mario Brothers when it first came out. So I'm like an old school gamer. I used to play The Godfather on the Xbox about 15 years ago, and the last game I played was Spider-Man. What's it? Is it Spider-Man Unlimited? Do you know the Spider-Man where you can get Spider-Man and throw him off a building? Like you can throw him off the Empire State and watch him fall all the way to his death and die. And Wolverine's in it in a scene. That's probably the last game I played, and that was 15 years ago, I'm guessing. I do sometimes play Five Nights at Freddy with my son. I don't know if that gets me any geek credit or points. The one thing I can tell you is we're struggling to get past. You haven't played that one, all right? Freddy? Yeah, we're struggling to get past someone in FNAF called. What the hell was it's like a bunny rabbit. I forget what it's called, but yeah. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, mate. No, I don't play it at the moment. But yeah, so Frimpong scores the goal. Lads start picking up again. Um, seem like they're playing well, and then like the last 6 or 7 minutes, because there were a couple of injuries, Liverpool sort of lost the rhythm. But they get to half time 2-1 up, and I was like reasonably satisfied. I thought, oh, lads have played all right here, yeah, not too bad, pretty decent so far. And then they came out for the second half and delivered what I can only describe as, I mean, I genuinely don't have the words for that second half performance. Let me put it this way: I don't know if any one of you have seen Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park. Um, the bit where Jeff Goldblum finds the dinosaur droppings and makes a remark of something on the lines of "That's a great big pile of." That would sum up Liverpool's performance, and I don't think the amount of dinosaur droppings in that scene would adequately describe it. It was horrendous, absolutely borderline appalling, quite honestly. Palace basically took over the match. First 3 or 4 minutes were pretty even, and then Palace basically just controlled the rest of the match. I mean, it is a friendly, and I do need to take that into account. But at times, it was borderline frightening how bad we were. To be honest, I mean, we were getting caught at the back all the time. Marteta was bullying Canate and Van Dijk. Will Hughes was delivering a midfield masterclass against Florian Wirtz and Dom and Curtis Jones, which should not. I do rate Will Hughes, and I think he's a very, very excellent footballer, but he should not be dominating that midfield, and he basically controlled the midfield. Eze basically controlled the entire thing from the wing. Kirkez just seemed to lose his head completely. Wirtz looked like he'd been on the ale. In fact, that's the best thing I could describe. It was like it was like half the Liverpool team had gone into the bowels of Wembley Stadium and started drinking like spirits or something like that. It was like a different team. I thought it was absolutely appalling, to be honest. And anyway, eventually Palace get the equaliser, and that was scored by, I still can't remember his damn name. I'm really sorry, folks. You'll have to look it up. It might have been Lerma, possibly. I don't know. I forget who it was, but basically, Liverpool gets split open again. I think it might have been Eze that pays the pass through, and like Van Dijk and Canate just like go like that. It was like the parting of the Red Seas. Bloke wanders through. Ali had already made like two really good saves. I think he made one from Eze and a couple of other people. But if it hadn't been for Alisson Becker, potentially that could have been 4-2 to Palace at the end of the match. It was utter and complete garbage, to be honest. Yeah, so we survive a couple of scary moments, and then we get through to penalties, and I'm sure you've all seen it. The penalty shootout was, I mean, I've seen Liverpool in, I'd imagine 30 odd penalty shootouts in my lifetime, maybe 30, 25. It was the worst penalty shootout that we have ever had in the history of the world. It was utter and complete rubbish. Mo Salah's penalty was worse than the one that he took against Athletic Bilbao. I mean, my God, it was. I don't know if any of you guys watch rugby, but it was like a conversion in a rugby league match. I mean, what on earth the man thought he was doing, I don't know. I mean, it's a shame for Mo because I thought he played really well the first 60 odd minutes or so, but he just basically, it looked like he ran out of energy. And again, you've got to say this is pre-season, he's still getting up to speed, blah 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 blah. But the penalty was so poor. Palace scored theirs. I'm trying to think who missed our other one. Oh, so we had Alexis McAllister, our second best penalty taker, who has taken penalties in the World Cup for us, the Copa America, Champions League, and so on and so forth. And he basically just passed it to their goalkeeper. It was shockingly bad, to be honest. I think Alisson Becker then saved one of their penos. I'm desperately trying to think of who the other guy. Oh, Cody's penalty was really good. He scored his penalty. Palace scored theirs. I can't quite remember now. They might have missed theirs actually. I can't remember. But then Dominic Szoboszlai gets the second penalty, which is the only other penalty we scored. And then basically, long story short, Um, yeah, no problem, person. Thanks for tuning in, pal. See you later, mate. Take care of yourself. Um, yeah, basically, Alison Becker saved one, and then the Palace player basically came up. I forget what his name is, and basically boomed it in the back of the net. And then Crystal Palace, you too, pal. Take care of yourself, man. Crystal Palace basically win the match, and do you know what? Thoroughly deserved it. Now, this is where the story gets slightly bad because I thought this was going to be a match reaction. You too, mate. I thought I was just going to be doing a match reaction, and if it was just a match reaction, I probably would leave it at this and say Crystal Palace and their fans are a credit to themselves, which I still think a lot of them are. Um, I love their enthusiasm, their the way they do what do you call it, ultra, when they do the ultra style stuff. And I do like the way it's quite a family club and this, that, and the other. And I had, well, I say had, I'm trying to remember, it was just a few people. I have a lot of respect for Crystal Palace, but that has been severely tested today. Um, and again, this isn't sour grapes. I thought Crystal Palace could have scored. I don't think 5-2 would have been unjustified. I thought they were far superior, far better than us, quite frankly. I thought we were abysmal in the second half, so it's got nothing to do with that. Congratulations to them, they deserve to win. The end. However, just before the match started, I'll talk about some of the players in a minute, but I need to get this off my chest really. So the pub that we watched it in, it's called Halfway House in Morley, which is in Leeds, and me and my brother are watching this, and they go to the minute silence. Now the pub that we were at didn't have sound on because it's like a music pub basically. It's like they do gigs and stuff like that. So they had the football on, but we couldn't hear the sound. So obviously we saw there was a memorial. You know, I said a prayer to Diogo and everything, and tried to be gracious and this, that, and the other. And then we just carried on watching the match. But we basically had no sound. The reason I'm mentioning this is so afterwards I posted congratulations to Crystal Palace. They thoroughly deserved it. Again, they did. They were far better than we were. And then I got alerted on my Threads account by a couple of people who I follow who seemed very angry with me. And at first I was like, what the hell have I just said? I don't understand. And then one of them said, I can't believe you're saying that after what the fans did to Diogo. And I thought to myself, what on earth are they on about? No one did anything to Diogo. But then there was another lady who basically said, I won't be wishing Crystal Palace any good luck after the way their fans sang about Diogo. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, right, okay. So basically I watched the footage back and it isn't good. It isn't good at all. Harry Lucas, hi again, do you remember me? Yes, Harry, I remember you from the other night, mate. How are you doing, fellow? You alright? Yeah, so basically, I'm just going to try and get this off my headphones and then I'll go off in the comments. But the booing was not by all the Crystal Palace fans by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of the Crystal Palace fans were disgusted and spoke to their own supporters, and then the Liverpool fans basically drowned them out. Then there was the thing with the national anthem, which I'll get onto in a minute, because I don't do politics on this channel at all, but I'm kind of forced to tonight because it's in relation to what people have been saying about our fans. But to say there was only a few Palace fans who were doing it, I would say that's pushing it ever so slightly. It was very much slightly more than a few. I mean, it certainly wasn't thousands. Obviously, I'm not going to say that at all. But I mean, I haven't got a number, but it was very loud. It was very, very loud. So, if I had to guess, 30 or 40 maybe. I don't know. I wasn't at the ground. I don't know if anyone watching the stream now was on the ground. So I generally don't know, but it did sound extremely loud from the social media stuff that I've seen. I have taken care to look at 3 or 4 videos. The point is, I was disgusted when I heard. I genuinely take football aside, and it's not me being preachy. People don't come to watch my stuff for me to be preachy, but I thought it was revolting, and I genuinely cannot understand any football fan making fun of a dead person. Now, Liverpool aren't blameless. In the past, some of our fans have sung disgusting songs about Munich and done aeroplane crash symbols, which again, I do not condone. I think it's revolting and I think it's absolutely repulsive. Um, but for someone who's been barely in the ground for 3 or 4 weeks to get that sort of reception when his wife, his two children, his parents might be seeing it. And again, I don't know if these people have had too much to drink. I don't know if they're trying to like make themselves social media stars and get themselves over. I don't know if they're attention seekers. I don't really, quite frankly, excuse my language, give a toss who they are. I hope and expect that Crystal Palace will be issuing a public apology for that behaviour as soon as humanly possible, preferably tonight and definitely tomorrow, on behalf of the supporters who behaved in that manner, because it is Crystal Palace's responsibility. And if Liverpool fans kick off, it's our responsibility. And I would expect Liverpool to apologise if we did the same sort of thing to anyone else. So I do expect an apology, and I would very much hope that Crystal Palace will be taking steps to ban these complete morons from Selhurst Park, because I'm sure they don't represent the majority of Crystal Palace fans. There's going to be a lot of Liverpool fans who will not be satisfied with that explanation, and I totally get that. If you want to boo Crystal Palace, it's not for me to be preachy and tell you not to. I would like to think Crystal Palace is what I expect to be quite a classy organisation will take steps to rectify this, and that there will be some sort of apology made tomorrow to Liverpool Football Club. But more importantly, the apology needs to go to the wife and family of Diogo Jota, because I'm sorry, but that just is completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable what happened today. And again, it's not me being woke or anything like that. I don't get involved in that stupid rubbish, this culture wars nonsense with woke versus right wing. I literally have zero interest in it, because basically the whole thing's fake anyway. Spoiler alert, it is actually fake. But at the end of the day, this is people taking the piss out of a dead person. I mean, it's not remotely funny. I mean, if they think it's funny, you should probably first thing tomorrow morning try and see it, because spoiler alert, normal people do not laugh at things like that. People dying and children being left with a mother instead of a mother and a father. So there we go. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that, really. What I was going to say quickly was, obviously, to my subscribers, thank you for all the love and everything. If anyone was offended by the video, that was, I would have thought so, mate, several times. If anyone was offended by the video I put out later, because basically I was congratulating Crystal Palace and I hadn't heard about the Diogo booing, so I just said congratulations, and I hope it didn't come across as like me being really insensitive. So, but I didn't know at the time that Diogo had got booed. Yeah, so if anyone thought the video was a bit insensitive, that's the reason, because basically the boos that we were at, like I said, was playing music instead of the commentary, so we didn't hear the booing. That's the whole explanation, basically. So yeah, so I'll leave that where it lies with Diogo. Obviously, it's up to all you guys, whatever you think is appropriate and what's not appropriate. But yeah, it is what it is, basically. In terms of the actual performance, like I said, I thought first half was really good. I thought the lads played really well. I was very impressed with Ekatike. I think he's going to be very decent front player, hopefully. But obviously, don't want to put too much pressure on the lad. Florian Wirtz, like I said, it was a pleasure to watch for 30 minutes. I didn't think, I don't want to single people out, I didn't think Konate had the best game I've ever seen him have. He did look very rattled by Marteta, And obviously, look, at the end of the day, that fella is a big, big, big bloody bloke. So, like, he would knock any one of us over. So, Ibu held his own, but I just didn't think he was very good. I thought, I thought Kirkes was excellent in the first half. And then I thought he had a diabolical second half, to be honest. He kept getting caught all the time. He definitely needs to work on that, and that we did look a bit more steady when Robbo came in. So I don't think it's just a case of Kirk has coming in and basically he takes the left back. I think this might have to be a bit of a process, and there's nothing wrong with rotating him and Robertson, but we did look a lot more solid when Robbo came on. I thought Curtis Jones was actually all right. Hello, Oliver. I did watch the match today, mate. Yeah, I saw it at the Halfway House pub in Leeds. I was just saying, I thought first half we played well. I thought Curtis Jones actually, everything he did quietly in the first half, I thought he was quite decent, to be honest. You can tell we miss Gravenberg though, just in the midfield. I thought Sobbo was decent. Okay, cool. I thought Sobbo was decent. Who else did we play? I thought Mo was all right for about half an hour, and then he was kind of in and out, kind of thing. Yeah, Ekatike was good. I thought Gakkers was really good as well. Yeah, this first half were really good. Obviously, Ali made some really good saves, so he played really well. But then the whole team just faded. So in terms of the people that came on, I didn't think McAllister was great, but he's like obviously he's getting his fitness back. Same thing with Bradley, so hopefully Bradley will be back next week. Who else did we bring on? You know what? I've got absolutely no idea who we brought on now. Genuinely no bloody idea. Nope, that's completely gone out of my head. I have absolutely no idea. And unfortunately, I've left my laptop in the other room, so I've got no access to see who it was, basically. It was Maka and. Nope, completely gone. Yeah, if anyone knows in the chat who we brought on, just give us a shout because I genuinely have completely forgotten. Frimpong played well. I'm a bit concerned that sometimes he's leaving very big gaps, the same as Kirk is. I kind of get we're changing the system, I do understand that, but it reminded me a lot of 17-18 Klopp for 60 minutes. And then we got a bit tighter at the back. Yeah, so yeah, it's a shame basically because like the first half, like I said, I thought we were excellent, and then the second half we just seemed to fall to pieces basically. But there were a couple of good performances. I suppose if I had to pick a man of the match, to be honest, I thought Ekatike was really really good. It would probably be a toss up between him and Verts just for Verts' first half performance, but he kind of faded to be honest. I thought Frimpong was really good. Like I said, I thought Curtis Jones was excellent as well, to be honest. So, in general, good workout for Liverpool. Look, at the end of the day, yes, we've lost the Charity Shield. Oh dear. But like the most important thing about the Community Shield is that the players get fit and that none of them get injured, especially defensively, because we are down to the bare bones. I hope seeing this is going to spur Richard Hughes and Mr. Edwards into action because we cannot go with that defence for an entire year and expect to win the league because we're going to get picked off. We need fresh bodies to come in, so whether that's Gay, who I thought was really, really good, to be honest. I thought the Palace, I thought Eze was excellent. What a superb footballer he is. And I don't know who the fellow was who kept skinning Kirkes, is his name Martos or something like that? I don't know who it was, but he's really, really good. Very, very impressive with him. And Marteta, I think he is a very, very good footballer because I've not watched too much of him, but his touch and techniques is superb. And the way he just bullied Canate, I mean, you don't see people bully Canate really, but he was literally, I mean, he has him on toast basically. So, yeah, I thought Palace played very well. And as I say, I think Palace deserve to win. I don't really think we can sit here and say Liverpool deserve to win that much at all. However, the most important thing is, as far as we know, no one is injured. The lads have got another workout in, and basically the priority was always going to be Bournemouth on Friday night next week. The only thing I would say is if they play like that against Bournemouth with people like Semenyo and Evan Nielsen, who are like speed merchants or whatever, they could potentially get ripped to shreds. So they need to play a hell of a lot better than they did today. But otherwise, because the thing that I've feared about the start of this season is if you look at our fixtures, if we mess it up against Bournemouth, our next match is Newcastle away from, and you are in the realms of either Isaac plays for Newcastle and it destroys us with the atmosphere at St James's, or Isaac back and it's absolute bedlam and chaos. And the Geordies are up for it, and Newcastle like pummel us basically. And then after that, we've got Arsenal. I mean, you are talking if they mess Bournemouth up, potentially we start the season off with like no points or maybe 1 point, or whatever, and it'll be just like the 2022-2023 season, where basically we'd lost the league after mid-September, basically. So we just need to be a little bit careful. I'm just hoping everyone's heads aren't going to fall off if we don't start too well, because I think we're basically putting the cart before the horse sometimes, because everyone's just expecting now that Verts comes in. We've got Ekatik and all these exciting players. Oh, well, we're going to create a dynasty and start winning the league, and we're favourites. And I'm kind of sat there going, whoa, 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 whoa. Like literally 10 months ago, you were telling us we were finished because Jurgen Klopp had left. And now fast forward to like 11, 10 months later, we're being told we're the dominant force in England. And I'm like, well, hang on, wait a minute. Man City won 4 titles and we won 1. Like, it can't have changed that much in a year, surely. So, yeah, I just hope that we're all a bit patient with this new team. And look, I'm one of these. Any trophy is brilliant. Obviously, I would like to win the league, but look, at the end of the day, I'm quite an easy bloke to please. If we finished third and won the FA Cup, job done. That'll do me. Bang on. As long as we win a trophy, that is all I really care about. To be honest, obviously it goes without saying I would prefer to win the league every single year, twice on Sunday. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it goes. Let's have a look in the comments. Fernando Garcia. Oh, hi, Fernando. What do you think are the best signings of Liverpool of the past 2 years? The past 2 years. Well, that's pretty easy, Fernando, because we didn't sign anyone last year, basically. No, we signed Chiesa, we signed Mamadashvili for this year last summer, and we might have brought like a young kid in or something. So in terms of last 2 years, obviously you've got to go Florian Wirtz, and I'd probably go with Frimpong just for his value. I mean, Jeremy Frimpong should be, realistically, Bayer Leverkusen should have been selling that lad for 50, 60 million quid in today's market. And the fact that we got him for, I think it was £27 million, and Trent actually technically paid for not far off half of him because we got about 11, 12 million from Madrid. So we basically ended up paying like about 15, 16 million pounds for Jeremy Frimpong, which is just ridiculous business, really. So yeah, I'd probably say Fernando, Frimpong, and definitely Florian Wirtz. Definitely. Maybe Mamadashvili will in time become that best signing, but obviously Alisson is the number one at the minute. But I would expect Mamadashvili to end up being Liverpool's number one goalkeeper. It wouldn't surprise me if it was the start of next season, to be honest. I think Arne will look to phase Ali out. I hope I'm wrong and I hope he doesn't, because I think Alisson Becker is the best goalkeeper, other than Peter Schmeichel, that I've ever seen. He's superb, absolutely wonderful keeper. I really hope that Ali stays for 2 or 3 years, but obviously he does get injured quite a bit, so. But then again, goalkeepers play for a long time, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, I'd say for now, I'd say Frimpong and Florian Wirtz, to answer your question in a very long-winded way, which I'm prone to do. I do apologise. Yeah, folks. So other than that, I'm just trying to think if there's been any other bits and pieces with Liverpool. Oh, there was one thing at the start of the match. If you just bear me a second. So I don't know if anyone saw the Liverpool lineup and the bench. So it turns out that Kostas Tsimikas was actually left out of the squad entirely, as was Jaden Dans. He wasn't in the squad, but he's building his fitness back up. Gravenberch wasn't involved because his missus is having a baby, which I know it's very inconvenient that Ryan Gravenberch doesn't play, but as a father, you kind of need to like go with your missus for her to give birth. If you don't, you are going to be in serious trouble. Let me tell you that right now. But yeah, Gravenberch obviously wasn't available. Who else wasn't available? Dan's. Bradley is still nursing an injury. They don't know how long it's going to be at the minute. One would hope he'd be back maybe after the international break. So as it stands at the moment, we've only got Frimpong at right back. Now, if Bradley's injury is going to be a while, obviously we can play people like Endo and Curtis. Curtis Jones did a decent job there last season, so maybe Curtis can come in and cover for Bradley. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But the big news coming out today was that Kostas Tsimikas was basically left out, possibly to do with a transfer. Now, because I've been out filming and stuff today, let's have a look. Lego Man. Hello, Lego Man Gamer. How you doing, mate? You're all right. If I could turn this camera around, you'd be very excited. I literally have a wall of Lego in this house, which isn't mine. It's my missus and my son's, so I'm very well versed in Lego. What is your favourite football team? Champions of England, mate. Liverpool. I've completely forgot what I was talking. Oh yeah, so Kostas Tsimikas. So basically, I think it was James Pearce and Paul Gorst were basically saying that Kostas has been left out, but they didn't specifically say why he'd been left out. But I think it was James Pearce for the Athletic was basically saying something along the lines of Nottingham Forest are interested in Kostas, and a couple of other teams want to take him on loan, but apparently we want a permanent transfer, not a loan. So I don't know if there's going to be a move for Kostas. I mean, I do feel a bit sorry for Kostas in a way because he's made a couple of mistakes here and there, but like he's always like given his all for the football club. I mean, technically he's won us 2 trophies. He won us the FA Cup in 2022 with his Penno, and then he made the cross into Verge for the League Cup win in 2004 in Klopp's last season. So technically he's actually won us 2 trophies, and I always think his crossing is very good. His defending's not as good as Robbo by any stretch of the imagination, but he's certainly not a bad defender. So I think it's just very unlucky, obviously, from his point of view, that Kirkes has come in. I can see Kostas doing a very good job for Forest if he goes to Forest. Who the other European clubs are, I don't know, but you would imagine a player of his quality will want Champions League football. So personally, I would. What the hell? Sorry, folks. I'm literally just looking at something. So something's come up on my my YouTube channel, and someone's just put it's clobbering time. Oh no, that'll be a toy short. Shameless plug. I do like toy shorts every Friday. So like YouTube shorts, basically. I'll film like toys and stuff. And I always put them on like Friday at 8 o'clock, and I put one on of Ben Grimm the other day. So presumably that's why I've just got a message saying it's clobbering time, unless there's someone here who reckons I look like the Thing, which I don't think the Thing's actually as bad looking as I am. So there we go. Anyway, just as an aside, so yeah, it looks like Kostas might be on his way. Whether something's going to happen with him, I don't know. There's massive rumours about Elliot going around at the minute. This is kind of what I wanted to talk about on the stream. So there's still rumours about Chiesa as well, and Ben Doak, and Jaden Dans. Now, my issue with this is obviously at the start of the summer we signed these 3 lads, well 4 if you include Gio, and basically we'd signed 4 lads and we sold like a couple, so the squad was like, obviously there was too many people in the squad, and that's fair enough. I think we had some stupid number, like about 32, 33, but we have recently let quite a few go. Obviously Nat's gone. Hey Mumshall, you alright? Nat Phillips has gone, Trent's gone, Keller has gone, Luis Diaz is gone, Kwanzaa's gone, and now we're getting to the stage where I'm absolutely fine, thank you. No, don't need any help, thank you. Yeah, so it's getting to the stage where like we've got, I don't know, I'm guessing about 24, 25, and I'm getting just a touch uneasy with this at the minute because if we then start getting no thank you, if we then start getting Chiesa and Doak sold, our squad is going to start looking very thin, and we can't just rely on Rio and Gamoa, who I'm very surprised didn't come on today, by the way, but we cannot just rely on a 17-year-old. Right, sorry folks, just bear me a second. I think we might have a problem with this one. There we go. Yeah, that person's gone now. Yeah, so in terms of the outgoings, I'm getting to the stage. I know people have said that we're going to get rid of Harvey Elliott. I would actually quite like Harvey Elliott to stay at the minute, and I would like Chiesa to stay because we need to get 2 or 3 people in defence now, as it is the last thing we need is to start weakening ourselves. If you're taking away Chiesa and Harvey Elliott, you're taking away a couple of the forward options. And then you are down to like Gakpo, Ekitike, and Salah. Look, at the end of the day, we've got that, and we've got Florian Wirtz. No one's going to have a great deal of sympathy for us, but at the same time, we could do without leaving ourselves short because this is a very long season, and Liverpool have had these injury problems before. I mean, obviously, you had the fiasco with Henderson, Fabinho a few years ago. I just don't want a repeat of that. And at the moment, if we lose Verge or Canate, I know no one wants to think about it, but we are in very, very serious trouble. I mean, the only good thing is there's only 2-3 games before the international break, and we've got Bournemouth on the Friday, and then we've got Newcastle, not the Monday afterwards, but the Monday after that. So we've got a big, massive break for the players to recover. Excuse me. So yeah, and then the Arsenal match is the Sunday, so we've got quite a few gaps. So if we can just get through to September, having brought hopefully before the end of the transfer window a defender, hopefully a couple, we should be okay-ish. It's after September we've got the problem because then you've got Champions League coming back. I don't think we'd be in the League Cup just yet, but we'd be in the League Cup sort of October time, presumably. And then there's going to be, I think there's about 6 or 7 Premier League matches before the next international break. So yeah, we could, excuse me again first, we could, I need a beer, is what I need after that. We could very much do with not weakening the squad. So I just hope that Richard Hughes has something up his sleeve for next week because we desperately do need that defender, whether it's Mark Gay or this other lad that my brother and all the young people in my circle know about that I'd never heard of before, some Italian fella. I don't know what his name is, but whoever it is, we need to get someone in like now, ideally as quickly as possible. Definitely between the Bournemouth and Newcastle games anyway, folks, so yeah, that's about it from today. It was obviously a bit disappointing, but like, look, at the end of the day, like I've said a million times on this stream, Crystal Palace deserve to win, and we did not deserve to win. They were the better team. They deserve to win. Congratulations to them. Like I said, I'm not really best pleased about the chants and the behaviour during the minute silence with Diogo. All I can say is, again, I hope Crystal Palace Football Club are going to take this seriously and that they are going to contact the family of Diogo Jota and apologise because, like I said, that just simply was not good enough by some of those supporters. So I hope they're hanging their heads in shame, and I'm sure they won't because people like that are, let's be honest, scumbags. Simple as that. So, yeah, so that's about it, folks, really. So, thank you all for watching. I'm just going to do a bit of a cheap plug before you guys go. So, first things first, this video will appear on YouTube as an actual video as opposed to a live stream probably tomorrow because it takes ages to load up and stuff. So it should be on oh, Jonathan, I am an old man, mate. I ain't falling for that. I used to do that sort of thing at school, mate. Definitely not. I'm not doing a shout out for that. It is very funny though, Jonathan. I'll give you that. The one time I did it in school, actually, funny enough, I did get a teacher to do it. It was well funny. I got detention for it. My parents found out as well, which was yeah, they were not pleased to say the least. But yeah, basically, this video will appear probably about midday tomorrow. I would imagine by the time it started loading up, so you can rewatch it again as a podcast. Um, Also, just to let you know in terms of what's coming up this week. So, if you're new to the channel, basically, the Geek Boy Meta thing is like a massive mixture of stuff. So, I cover films, horror movies, comic cons, pro wrestling, which I'll talk about in a minute. Obviously, Liverpool Football Club, Pride, football stadium tours, which I do quite a bit as well. In fact, I'm doing one of them next week in London. Um, Someone told me the other day to stop saying I've only just noticed how much I say That's really not cool, actually. Now he's put that in my mind. Oh my good God, I've just noticed I say all the time. That is not cool at all. I can't even stop myself from saying it now. But yeah, see, I've just said it again. Yeah, so basically I cover a lot of stuff. So this will end up in Geek Boy Does Liverpool because everything's titled Geek Boy Does. So it'll be Geek Boy Does Wrestling, Geek Boy Does Comic Books, blah 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 blah. So this will all be in Geek Boy Does Liverpool. Um, just to say, last week that I went to the Athletic Bilbao double header. So there's two vlogs on there now. I was given the privilege of signing the Diogo Jota wall, so I've done a brief vlog of that as well. It was very, very emotional. I cried outside the Robbie Fowler mural, rather embarrassingly, in front of probably a couple of hundred people, which wasn't really cool, but there you go. But yeah, there's loads of Liverpool content from there. All the goals that were scored are on there, apart from two that I completely missed because I ended up dropping the camera basically. So yeah, there's one of Ben Doak shooting the ball, but you don't see it go in the back of the net basically. So yeah. But there's loads of content from last week, and again, thank you to everyone that was involved in Red Monday. That was really, really cool. In terms of what's coming up, basically tomorrow night, if you're a wrestling fan, well, I say tomorrow night, but about 3:30 in the morning, I'm going to be doing a live reaction to Monday Night Raw. So if you're a pro wrestling fan, I'll be on hopefully about 3:30, just after Raw's ended. I am going to start possibly watching Monday Night Raw live, but I still need to work some bits and pieces out about how I'm actually going to do that. And yeah, so, but for now, I'm just doing live reactions to Raw, so that'll be on Tuesday. There's a Liverpool podcast that I did at Anfield, which will be dropping tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I did like a Premier League preview show, which I recorded, I think, outside the Kenny Dalglish stand. I can't quite remember. I found a corner where there was no other human beings, basically. So yeah, that podcast is coming at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Monday Night Raw, 3:30 on the early hours of Tuesday morning. I'm also an AEW fan, wrestling wise, so I'm gonna do an AEW live reaction. I'm hoping about 8 o'clock, 10 past 8, whenever I can get my lad and my missus out of the house, basically, because they are love them very much, but they are a slight impediment to doing this on the odd occasion, to be fair. But there we go. Hi Sparks, you're all right. Yeah, so I'll be doing a live reaction to AEW Dynamite. I'll be doing a live reaction to Sparks Blue. Can I play Roblox? I cannot, Sparks. However, my son loves Roblox, and he was telling me the other day he has 8,000 Robux. If that makes any sense, I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone, but he was jumping around the living room saying, "Daddy, I've got 8,000 Robux," which I assume is very good. I don't know, but yeah. To answer your question, no, I don't. So yeah, AEW, and then I'll be doing live reaction to Bournemouth versus Liverpool. That'll be about, I'm hoping 11:30, because I'm going out to again to the pub to watch it with a few of the lads. Hopefully that'll be about 11:30, give or take. I'll let you know if there's a delay. Then the end of the week is pretty exciting because I will be going to London. Now, next week, I'm hoping to go to a couple of football stadiums. So I'm not sure where I'm going to go, but possibly West Ham Olympic Stadium, possibly Arsenal. I know we're not massively keen on Arsenal as Liverpool fans at the minute, but it is a pretty decent stadium. It is pretty cool, to be fair. Possibly QPR, maybe Tottenham. So I don't know where I'm going just yet. Maybe Brentford. I know we're quite close to Charlton because we're in and around that sort of area, staying over. So I'm going to try and get to one or two football grounds on the same day and do like a live walk around, basically. If you like that sort of thing as well, I just did a live walk around of Anfield, and I've just done Ellen Road, which basically is, I know you can't see the front of my house, but it's basically down there, down the corner, and there's Ellen Road, basically. And there's loads of other football stadium tours that I've been to. So I've been to Birmingham City, Villa, Wolverhampton Wanderers, um, Derby, lots of Midlands club. Yeah, not gonna read that. Yeah. There we go. That's that strange person gone. Wow, there's a lot of weirdos on YouTube, isn't there, including me. Yeah, that's completely put me off. Yeah, so I'm going to London next week. I'm hoping to, if anyone's a fan of Lego, I'm hoping to do a vlog from the Lego store or at least get some toy shorts. If any of you guys are geeky people, I'm going to go to Forbidden Planet in central London. Probably not for a live one, because obviously not to record live in some of these buildings, but there might be a vlog or something from that. So there'll be loads of content coming from a trip to Liverpool. I'm going to try and go to the Disney store because there's like a big Marvel store there. Again, I might not be able to do that live because I don't really think it's allowed, but I might be able to do a vlog or something, so that should be pretty cool. And then we come back from London, I think, on the 21st to Leeds, so it's like Thursday, and then I end up going to London, but not as the family. This is just me on my own. 2 days afterwards, because I'm going to go and see AEW at the O2 in London. So I don't know if any of you guys are like AEW fans, but I've got loads of AEW content. I've been to the first two All-Ins at Wembley Stadium, and I've got tickets for Forbidden Door. By the way, if anyone's a Liverpool fan and wondering what's going on, just ignore this last bit because I've done the Liverpool bit basically, so this is just shameless cheap plug. But yeah, I'm going to AEW Forbidden Door, so there'll be live reaction from outside the arena, there'll be a vlog, shorts, and blah 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 blah. And then 3 days after that, I come back to Leeds, and then me and the lad are going to see WWE, but in Leeds. And I hope to God, if any of you are wrestling fans, that Cody Rhodes does turn up, because otherwise, I've never heard it put like that before. That's quite inventive, actually. So yeah, folks, that's what's coming up basically. Yeah, so that's basically it from the channel. So thanks very much everyone for watching. Like I said, there'll be a Liverpool podcast at 2 o'clock tomorrow, which I recorded live from Anfield, so that'll drop at 2 o'clock, I think. And the next time I'll be on live will be for Monday Night Raw, which will be in Chex's watch about 28 hours from now. So yeah, pretty cool fun week coming up. Lots of cool stuff happening in the summer, and then there's lots of cool stuff happening at Halloween, which I know is like a fair bit away, but what, I mean, mind you, it's only like 6 weeks away now, isn't it? So yeah, loads of cool stuff from our channel. Thanks very much everyone for watching, especially the ones who aren't attention seekers, and I'll see you all soon.